All right, restart. Okay.
Yeah, all right. Take your time.
All right. All right. 2025 housing market update and home buying strategies. We're going to be navigating high interest rates, rising inventory, down payment assistance programs, letting you know how you can get into your home today. All right. Our guest today is Darren Miller, Atlanta real estate agent extraordinaire. Actually, broker. Let me apologize. Broker, big man over here doing big things. What's good, Darren?
Hey, what's up, man? What's up? Thanks for having me, man. Excited about getting into it. I know a lot of people have a lot of questions about what's going on with this market. I know it's been a little hesitant from jumping in the market and doing things. However, we're here to help guide you through it and answer any questions that y'all may have. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
man. Yeah, man. So, introduce yourself. Tell them a little bit about you.
yeah, man, for sure. My name is Darren. Once again, I'm a real estate broker, social real estate broker with a village, a virtual property. I'm a virtual property realty. I've been a licensed agent for over 7, 8 years. Love what I do. Love helping people. And if you got a need and wants to get into real estate, I love to sit down with you, have a game plan, and write it out and execute it. Because at the end of the day, every person is different, so can't go about it the same way. So that's me.
Yeah,
Um,
man.
yeah.
No, man. That's what's up. That's what's up. So we actually, it sounds like we got into the real estate industry around the same time. So
Mhm.
I got in at 2017. I actually started in Canada in
Oh,
Toronto.
oh wow.
And then yeah, during then during COVID, I came back to the U.S. and that's when Georgia was actually the first place I got licensed in for lending.
Oh,
I was yeah, licensed in Georgia, New York. I actually took so it's one test. If anybody, this isn't like on the topic for today, but if anybody's looking to get their mortgage license, definitely like this is how you would do it. So it's one exam you have to study, and then once you're licensed, you can get your license across the U.S. You just have to like take the individual state
coach.
qualifications. Yeah, yes, individual state qualifications. But no, 2017 and like been going ever since. Like market ups, downs. This is gonna take us into like some of the topics for today, but yeah, like there's ups and downs in any industry. Whether it's a good time for you
Mhm.
will be determined by, let's say, your income, your credit, what's going on in your life. Don't pay attention to the media, what they're saying. Your friends, their situation isn't your situation. Their partner, spouse, kids is not your kids, right? So like you have to do what's make the best decisions for you and your family. All right, so we're
Exactly.
gonna talk about like a local recap. We're gonna go as far as like a national recap as well. I'm licensed in a few different areas. Darren, I know like he can refer you to agents across the country as well. So
Mhm.
it's good to get an overall like market view, so that way you can see what's going on out there.
Exactly. Exactly.
All right. Yeah, yeah. So you want to tell us like what are you seeing in your backyard?
My backyard, man. No, man. Here in the Atlanta real estate market, man, it's a little bit different. I'm sure a lot of people send in their markets as well, uh, but a little bit different from what it was seen the past year. Interest rates are sitting around that 7% threshold, and we haven't seen a drop in a while. I mean, they just came up with. Correct me if I'm wrong. They just came out with some rates, and it dropped maybe a quarter, like that just recently, something like that. But
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah.
yeah,
We'll get into
we'll
yeah,
talk more
yeah.
about that when we get there. But with that being said, houses are still in the market a little bit longer. Buyers have more, I guess, negotiating power, of course, we can talk about what that looks like a little bit farther down the road as well. But and how, I mean, sellers just got to be realistic about their pricing. You got to be strategic on how you list your property in this type of market. We have shift from a seller's market to a buyer market in a sense. There's a lot of houses on the market, and there's little buyers, not as many buyers. So that's making this market what it is right now.
Mm.
between the resale and new construction, buyers have options right now, and that's why this market is looking the way it looks. So that's what we're seeing right now in the Atlanta market. But hey,
No, so I really like what you said. There's a lot of homes because one thing you hear a lot, or one thing I hear a lot, is that we're in a housing shortage, right? So when you think like, oh, we're in a housing shortage, there must be like a lack of inventory, right? But the main thing keeping buyers out of the market are interest rates and like affordability, which we're gonna get into next. But as far as like homes that are sitting on the market for a longer period of time, right? Like, and you mentioned new construction. Do you have a particular like area that you like to guide people?
um, like I said at the beginning, everybody's situation is different. So it comes down to the conversation. I would say that it does follows where your affordability is going to play a part, because I will say new construction, as you know, something is new, going to cost me more expensive. So you're looking at a minimum price point of new constructed homes around 450 versus resale, you're going to look more so around 370. I mean, 395, 397. So that's something you have to really consider.
Okay. Yeah, man. Thanks. So, like across the country, housing prices have continued to rise. When you look at, so I'm officially in Texas, but lived in Atlanta, lived in New York. I'm licensed in a few different markets, so I kind of have a like an overall broader market view, and I study different markets. Housing prices across the country have like gone up, right? And they're not forecasted to decrease, whereas rates are scheduled to decrease. As rates decrease, as he said, like we're in a housing shortage. Rates go lower, more people are going to be able to get into the market, more people are going to be able to qualify, which is only going to uh, increase home prices. So right now, like homes are sitting on the market for longer periods of time, and that's mainly because people can't get into homes because they have issues qualifying, or they don't want to pay the like the mortgage, the property taxes, the insurance, things of that nature, their overall housing costs. They're not comfortable with what that would be currently in the market. So like as rates go down, while you would be able to qualify for more at a lower interest rate, there's going to be more competition for that said house. What are you seeing in the market as far as like multiple offers and things of that nature?
Of course, in the hotter parts of those more desirable neighborhoods, you're going to see a couple more multiple offer situations, especially if the house is, I always say price, condition, and location are the main things, three things that we're looking at, especially from a buyer's perspective, that's going to determine the market price. So if those three things are perfectly aligned, those are the type of houses that's going to sell much faster than the rest of the homes. So we're not seeing so many multiple offer situations, but there are some pockets in the cities where there's a more desired neighborhood. Far as like, let's say the school district is the best in the city. So buyers are looking for things like that, more specific, and they're gonna go off of those. And if that said house have those three things that's in order: price, condition, location. That's where you're gonna see your multiple offer situations. Is it a lot across the board in Atlanta? No, but it's there. Like I said, it's a seller's market in the sense of inventory. So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So like our next topic is actually going to tie into different pockets and neighborhoods as well as like down payment, right? So like different mortgage programs, credit considerations. I know different parts of the country, like we're not supposed to, like, so my goal is never to, I just give people the options based on like their income, credit, things of that nature. I don't like send them one way or another. As far as like different neighborhoods, different school districts, things of that nature, like are you able to give us like your top neighborhoods that you would
So
that you
yeah, I get what you're saying. Like you said, it's a little tricky because as a
yeah
professional, I don't guide you towards a certain area. at the end of the day, it's going to come down to what you can afford and what works for you, as far as what you're looking for, where you want to be at, things you want to be close to, et cetera, et cetera. And if you're a city person, I got some pocket of neighborhoods that I'll show you, depending on the price point. But if you want to be on the outskirts, it's a different story as well. So it's different things that you're looking for that we have to figure out interest-wise. But I'll say my favorite neighborhoods.
Let's stick to your favorite. So we don't get in trouble.
I might be a little biased. I was born and raised here in Atlanta, Georgia, so I know Atlanta. I know Atlanta.
So this is important. So when y'all are looking at realtors or realtors, people, you want somebody who's from the city, who knows the city in and out. He got the connects.
Right. Exactly. That's all I'm saying. But no, some of my favorite places. I'll let you know. I currently live in Decatur, and I like Decatur. Some people can put that off and say, "Oh, no, that's the hood," and da 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 da. And I heard that many times, but that's a lot of things have transitioned from Decatur from what people have known it to be. Another one is we go a little bit close, go in towards the city. I like Kirkwood area. I'm gonna go up a little bit, push me to Sandy Springs. I love the Sandy Springs area.
Sandy Springs, I like it over there.
Right. Marietta, have you ever been up to the Brave Stadium up there, Truist Stadium? Oh man, it's nice. Love that area.
That's where I used to live, right off of Cumberland.
Oh, see, there you go.
Yeah.
And then you go up a little bit further. There's a lot of things that's in development that's bringing a lot of people to the Alpharetta, Roswell, Woodstock area. So a lot of the developments is happening up there. You can see a lot of new construction, and I would say prices are going to start more so $600,000 up there. So
definitely Alpharetta is more pricey. Sandy Springs, Marietta, but all of these are like amazing areas, like great areas. Later on, if you're into it, Darren could give you like a nice spot to go get some stewed chicken or some curry chicken and all of that. So that's for me, though. That's for me.
That's for me. Check out here, man. You gotta check out D&M Jamaican cuisine. They got 2 locations, man. One in Stone Mountain and one in the Latonia area. So yeah.
Okay. So really quickly, like when it comes to like mortgage interest rates, as a hot topic, just because that impacts affordability. But so interest rates right now, I don't quote mortgage interest rate, just like he can't tell you a specific area, like we don't stare. But like when it comes to interest rates, another reason why I don't quote interest rates is because it could change tomorrow, right? It can change like later on today, right? So depending on the time that you're watching this, like it'll change several times throughout the day. So that's why it's important to just focus on what you can control, put yourself in the best position, the best circumstance to qualify for what you can qualify for. So interest rates right now, depending on the loan program, you can see anywhere from like 6 to like low to mid 6s, all the way up to 7. If it's an investment property, you're probably looking at like a 7.5 or 8%, somewhere around there. There's buy down options. So again, it's really hard to like quote interest rate when I don't know how much you're look how much you have available to buy down the interest rate, whether it be a permanent buy down, a 2-1 buy down, a 3-1 buy down. All of those like can impact your monthly payment, right? Different loan programs. So on the screen it says down payment assistance programs, no money down. Before I get into like different programs, what are your thoughts as a realtor, somebody who's accepting offers or like presenting offers on behalf of like your buyer? What is your views on like say down payment assistance programs or like FHA loans, VA loans, things of that nature?
I mean, I think those are great options for people that are looking for options where they don't have the funds, or at the end of the day, need the funds to in order to help with the down payment, or don't want to pay no down payment for the house.
Mm-hmm.
When going to the sellers, all I say is, before doing that, make sure you have all your ducks in a row, because some of these things can take time in order to get that down payment acceptable. So at the end of the day, you want to make sure all your ducks in a row. So when you come in, let's say we're talking about multiple offer situation, you don't want to go up against someone that's got a conviction on, ready to go, got the cash, et cetera, and you still going through the program in order to get accepted for that no down payment assistance. So it's good to go ahead and, let's say if you're ready, if you haven't thinking about going into the real estate market right now and want to buy, go ahead and take those steps to go ahead and get started now. See what it looks like. If you just interested, just see what it looks like. It's not gonna hurt. And if you have those ducks in a row, you have a better chance in order to get that house that you want. So that's my outlook on it. But yeah.
No, definitely. So from the lender's side, right? Um, like there are programs, down payment assistance programs, conventional loan programs, non-QM. So those are outside of the box programs. If you're working with professionals and you do your pre-approval upfront, not like pre-qualified where you're just telling them some numbers, but you go through the full pre-approval process, give them all your documents and everything, it should be a pretty straightforward process. You can close anywhere like 2 to 3 weeks, right? So it's all about like having all of the labor and the legwork done up front just to make that process easier, more streamlined. So whether it's like a FHA, a VA, conventional loan, you can compete with anybody if you're working with somebody who can get things done, get it done, right? But so when it comes to like different programs for FHA loans, that's 3.5% down. First, before we even get into that, like the down payment assistance that we mentioned, as far as like having down payment assistance or having funds, even if you are coming in or getting down payment assistance, like you should still have some money saved, right? Like you're not gonna, if you're going from Atlanta to Florida to Miami for the weekend and the plane ticket is $200, you're not just gonna leave with $200 in your pocket, right? Like, right? Like you want to have some money, some spending money just in case emergencies. Like my mom used to always tell us, keep a 20 in your sock or something like that, just in case like things happen, right? So you want to, even if you're using down payment assistance, it's still good to have some money, like just in case things happen, things come up, because there are, even with down payment assistance programs, there are things that you still need to pay for, like the appraisal, like inspection, things of that nature, right? So yeah, moving costs, moving expenses. Yeah. What are your thoughts? Like how much do you generally recommend somebody to have?
I say if you have the means to do so, save about 30% of the purchase price that you're looking to do. I think that's a great way to start. Even because if you get once you do receive that down payment assistance, now you got this extra money in your pocket to help you with moving costs, getting first start in moving into your new home, et cetera, et cetera. So I'll tell my clients that about 3% of the purchase price that you.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So like have your little money on the side, or have some money on the side. FHA loans, 100% financing, down payment assistance. So where you can get the 3.5% or like up to 5% of the loan. Conventional loans, there's programs that offer the same thing, the 3 to 5%. For like first time home buyers, that would be a 3% if you're a first time home buyer. Typically, like your credit score, your FICO needs to be 580 minimum. Down payment assistance programs generally like have different requirements as well, like more stricter requirements than say like a regular program, just because they're already giving you money, right? So they want to make sure like it's a good investment. They're investing, so they want to make sure they can get their money back.
Yeah. So question:
Yeah.
Is it from a lender standpoint? Is it hard to get these down payment assistance programs? I'm sure the people want to know that. Is it hard? Like, do they got to do a lot of work? Is it exhausting?
Honestly, no. Like it's more work on like as long as you have a plan, nothing is hard. Like you can also, yeah, as long as you have a plan, nothing is hard. It's just about working backwards. So you said you recommend people save 3%, right? If somebody, or yeah, about 3% of the purchase price. If you know that you need to like save 3%, that's why it's never a bad option to get started as soon as possible with the savings. So just work backwards. Take a little money here, take a little money there, put it to the side, like give it to somebody to hold, put it in a separate account. Even if like, so right now we're in an elevated interest rate market, right? I have people who reach out to me and they're worried about the overall cost. If your rent is say 2,200 and your mortgage with everything included is going to be 2,500, begin saving that 2,500. And even if your mortgage is less than that, you've already like built up that tolerance, that willpower, and now you just have an additional like 300 that you can use for whatever, for however many months you were saving, right? So it's all about like just working backwards. I wouldn't say it's hard. I would say like a lot of people just don't have the discipline to do it, or just don't know like what they should do, because there's a difference between not knowing what to do and just not doing it. And a lot of people just don't do it, if I'm being honest. Because like people like you out here, people like me out here, like social media, the information is out there. Google,
Yeah.
ChatGPT, YouTube, the information is out there. People just aren't doing it.
Yeah. And it's not hard work. I mean, it really is not.
Yeah.
You need somebody to be an accountability partner. That's what we're here for. Look at us as your accountability.
Exactly.
Your realtor.
Exactly. Yeah.
We need
man.
that accountability partner for you.
Definitely. So like outside of the programs, right? Like credit, generally. So for people that you represent, your buyers and sell, well, yeah, more so your buyers, because the sellers doesn't really matter where their credit is at unless they're planning on selling to buy another property. Generally, what do you do in that instance? Like, what do you recommend for them to do? Like, what are some tips you give somebody, I should say?
I'm sorry, say that question one more time.
Yeah. What are some what are tips you give your buyers, like as far as credit? Just because I from what I've seen as far as like applications, applications in different markets, certain markets tend to, or certain programs, when you're discussing certain programs, you tend to attract certain like buyers or certain people who fit within a certain, right? So but so I'm trying to like find a nice way to go around it. But if your credit is messed up, then you know your credit is messed up, right? So like, or some people don't know what good credit is. Some people, like I've actually had several clients who thought they needed to wait to improve their credit, and they were like high sixes, low sevens. I've had people who were like at like mid sixes who thought getting their credit up like a few points was going to really impact or change the situation, and it's basically the same thing. It's like once you fall between a certain like amount, like your options are the same.
Yeah, I think it's like 650, 660 or something like that, and above you're pretty much going to improve the same thing.
Yeah. So like, what tips do you give people? Like, who are looking to
hit that too. I wanted to touch back on the down payment assistance. If you want to learn more information about that, you can easily visit my website right here down below. It's literally a tab you can click on. You look at those pictures, look at those different options. You can click on that picture and that's taking you straight to the website to get more information about it. And then DM, let's talk about it. But tips as far as building your credit, because I know that can be a touchy subject for some people, or some people just don't, like they figured it's too messed up, ain't nothing I can do about it. That actually is not true. The first thing I like to tell my clients is get that free karma report. It's free. Why not just go ahead and pull it and see what's on your credit? Because there's some things that's on there. You can probably call them and say, hey, this was 5 years ago. Can you take this off? And they would. So it might be, take that little bit of digging, but it's your personal credit. And if it's something that you really want to do, this is your interest and want to buy a home, want to build wealth, want to build wealth for your family at the end of the day, this is something that you put your time into in order to do. So first it comes with that mindset. Do you have the mindset in order to put the work in order to get that property? That's something that you want to do. 2, have a conversation with us. Just pick up the phone, text us, DM us. If your credit score that's a minimum credit score, minimum credit score of 640, you can get approved for a mortgage. You might be 10 points off from that, and it might take for you to pay a credit card down by $200. Because doing that, if you doing that, you'll be surprised how many points that would increase your credit. Another thing I like to do is look at your credit cards and find out your 30% threshold. You keep your credit cards below 30%. That's like the perfect threshold in order to help your credit increase over time. So making your payments on time, looking at the credit cards, find that 30% threshold. I'm telling you, you'll be in there.
So like to add to that, like 640, 650, 660, anywhere in that middle range, like you'll be good. Generally, like the lowest point or the lowest score you can have for conventional is 620. For an FHA without needing to put down additional funds, which is just a 3.5%, is 580. For like VA, and again, this is like lender specific. You probably like will need to do some searching, or I can do the searching for you. Like as far as like VA and FHA lenders who go down below that to like 500 or so. So like VA actually doesn't have a like a floor as far as like where your credit is. I know like it's zero money down, but when it comes to say bruised credit, then yes, you would be required to put something down. All right, so it's just like a give and take. If your score is on the lower end, then we would just want to like work with you to see how we can bring it up if it needs to be increased. Just because, again, like it's gonna be cost you more in the end, right? Like if you have a bad score. So if you have the money and you're willing to do it, then you can do anything, right? That's what I tell people all the time.
Yeah.
Right. Like if you have the money, if you have the money, don't even worry about where interest rates are at. Just hit up Darren right now. He could like 100% finance and like buy it cash. Right. Right. So yeah. So like if you have the money, it doesn't matter. Money makes the world go round. I would suggest like not doing that, like putting down like 90% or something and like invest in the rest. Like, or, like yeah.
I actually had a client that came into a lump sum of money, and they thought, "Hey, I'm gonna buy this house with cash," and I'm like, "No, let's take a chunk of that portion, and make that investment with the home, because of course that's something that I definitely recommend doing, but let's invest in that other portion, because that's something that we're not always taught how to deal with lump sums of money. We think we just make big purchases, and buying a house is a good thing, but we're not taught that sometimes interest rates is a good thing too if you utilize it the right way."
Yeah. No, definitely. Like I have somebody like right now in Atlanta who wants to like refinance or do a HELOC on their property, which is basically like tapping into the equity. So it is an additional mortgage, but he's reinvesting the money, right? Like on buying another property, which is going to be cash flowing. So again, it's all about like how you utilize like your debt. U.S. is in trillions of dollars of debt. Don't let them tell you not to like borrow money. All right. So
is it the right way? That's all it is.
You said what?
As long as you leverage it the right way, that's all it comes down.
Yeah. It's all about leverage. It's all about leverage. Like when he came to me, right? Because we're looking at like multifamily properties now, and we can do another like live discussing commercial properties because it's all basically the same thing, right? Like getting tenants for your property, vacancy rates, things of that nature. But came to me, he's like, yo, I want to like take out money from my house. What do you think? Like, is it a good time? Is now, and this is gonna lead us into like if you should buy now or you should wait. But he was like, oh, like should I take the money out to do this or do that? I said, bro, as long as you're not like taking the money out to go and buy a boat or like to go on a trip around the world, then like it makes sense. If you're reinvesting it, we just gotta look at the numbers to see like if it makes sense and let the numbers like determine that for you, right? Exactly. Like yeah. That's one thing I like about the lending side. It's not like a feelings thing. It's either all right, can you do it or can you not?
Yep, when it comes down to it, like what the numbers gonna always say the
truth. Yeah. All right. So reasons why somebody should buy now or why they should wait. All right. So we spoke briefly about improving credit. Like if you have bruised credit, like it could impact your rate. So whereas like we're in a higher rate market, bruised credit, like you're going to get a higher rate already, right? So that's going to increase your monthly mortgage, like increase your mortgage insurance, things of that nature, increase the debt, the DTI, and then like if you're already in debt, if you're already in debt and something happens, like it's kind of rough because you're already like digging yourself out of a hole, right? What are those are some reasons like why you should possibly wait. I would say,
but Ken, though, what is a DTI though? You know, What is that?
Oh, so,
We
yeah,
don't
yeah.
know.
So like, oh, I'm using industry terms. I'm using industry terms. My apologies. My apologies. My apologies. So, like, if you have a high debt to income, basically, so like how much money you have going out versus how much money you have coming in, and there's like an industry. There's like what's recommended, and then there's also like a maximum threshold, right,
Exactly.
that you can't go past in order to like qualify. So in those instances, like we can do something where like you have a non-occupying like co-borrower. So somebody else, like say you have a family member who lives across the country, and they're just going to when you're doing this though, like anybody who's looking at like being somebody's co-borrower, make sure you trust them, or make sure you can beat their ass if they like mess up, right?
100%. For real.
Make sure it's somebody who not somebody who is in a hole and like is just sitting there, or like sometimes bad things happen to good people, right? Like life happens. So some whatever situation you're in right now, and you're trying to work yourself out. This is just me speaking, right? Like if I had a family member who came to me to borrow like $40,000, or they wanted me to co-sign on a debt, I would look at this person and see, all right, this is a family member, this is somebody who I know.
Right.
Like based on their history, do I think they're going to default? Because in case they do default, I am also on this debt. So that's something that you have to like take into account, right? Like, can this person like pay for this debt, pay for this home? Are they the type to just say fuck it and like cancel on a Sprint bill or something like that, or AT&T? And this is the thing about like why we look at your credit, because if somebody can't pay $150 debt, what makes you the bank think that you're going to be able to pay a $2,500 debt, right? So yeah, that's something we definitely like look at. So DTI, yeah, debt to income, basically. But there's options for like somebody with bruised credit. I recently like had a client who had like a 598 credit score, right? And we like got her approved. She got turned down. She actually got turned down by a builder, because you mentioned like new construction earlier. So that's one good thing about like working with a broker. She initially went with the builder's mortgage agent. They denied her. I kind of felt bad, but I don't feel too bad. I kind of feel bad like being the second option, but as long as I get it done, I don't care.
They
Like
should
that.
you.
Huh?
At the end of the day, you got it done for it. So that's all.
Yeah, yeah. At the end of the day, I got it done. So like, whether you come to me first or second, just come to me. All right. Like,
Yeah. Just
yeah,
make sure.
yeah. So, huh?
Just make sure it's the first option, not the last.
Yeah. Just like come see me early in the process, so that way you don't have to go see multiple people.
100%.
But so like those are some reasons why I think somebody should wait. What are your thoughts?
So, my thoughts on waiting, or you said buying now?
Whichever one, if because I already did touched on the reasons why somebody should wait. If you have anything to add, or you can like tell me reasons why somebody should buy.
Reasons to wait. I mean, you really hit the nail on the head on those points there. Outside of those, I mean, it's come down to personal preference. That'd be the main thing. I mean, if you wait on some money to come through to clear from overseas, then yeah, wait. But but yeah, I mean, that was the main points that main things that you hit on. I guess a more touchy subject is reason to buy now, because people are a little iffy right now, on the edge.
Yeah.
What the market looking like. I mean, if inventory is rising right now and natural price growth has slowed, then waiting for a crash could, at the end of the day, backfire on you. Rates fall,
Yeah.
the competition just come thrashing in. Now you competing with other people at the same property that's on the market for 400,000, and you think you can go lower now at 395, but because someone else like this property, because there's more competition, they might put a bid in at 420, and now they got the property, not you. So
Yeah.
that's one of the reasons why it is a good time to buy right now. Because like I said in the beginning, buyers has some negotiation power right now. It's not as much not much competition out there right now. So if you have the ability to do it, jump on it. The prices in Atlanta, we mentioned that earlier today. They're sitting around 397. $450 for new construction. We're seeing that new construction is actually giving some incentives for you to buy right now. Resale prices are a little bit lower right now. They're giving you concessions towards the closing costs and things like that. So something to really consider right now, because if the interest rates drop, those things aren't on the table anymore.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like, just to add to that, because you said I had this conversation with somebody yesterday at an open house. Like, sellers' homes have been on the market, sitting on the market longer, right? Builders are sitting on inventory as well. So, like, that's why we're in a buyer's market. You have more negotiating power. You mentioned like sellers concessions, builders like giving credits for different things. That's a great way to improve your affordability, to lower that monthly expense, because you can use that for closing costs. So you have more money in your pocket at closing when you're leaving the closing table, or you use that to like lower your interest rate, and then you're saving like hundreds of dollars. Like a month turns into $1,000 a year. You can there's a lot of different tools that we use, a lot of different ideas that I have that I generally share with people. So yeah, you can use it, pay off your mortgage quicker, right? If you're worried about that debt or what might happen in the future, like use those savings to pay off that debt like quicker, so that way you're saving on the interest, and ultimately like you start building on the equity quicker. But no, man, I love that.
No,
I'll let you finish. My fault.
No, you're good, because that was good transition, because talking about building on your equity quicker. Do it now so you can start already building that equity now, and with that, and refinance later. So I always tell my clients, that's looking right now, that's on the fence about buying, is take the rate, marry the home, because the home is going to always be there for now. Now, that's there for now. But that interest rate is going to fluctuate up and down, up and down, up and down. So if you constantly wait on that interest rate to go to a price point where you want it to be, that house is going to be gone. Someone else is going to own that home. It's going to be their dream home, not your dream home. You just missed out on your dream home because you want an interest rate to go lower. So that's something to definitely take into consideration as well. Date the rate, love the home, refinance later.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's like it's honestly, I always tell people with this like buy now or wait conversation, like everybody is based on your individual situation.
Sure.
Like what's good for Darren might not be good for me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like you have to look at what's going on in your life, what's going on with your finances, and let that determine like what you should do. I remember back in the days, right? I used to work for Delta Airlines. Delta's big in Atlanta. I used to work for Delta, and there was this guy who I forgot his name now, but it was an Italian guy. And this is when I first started. I didn't have like a 401k. Invest in your 401ks, y'all. Get a Roth. A Roth is the best. I ain't gonna get into it now, like holla at a financial advisor, but definitely a Roth IRA 401k, definitely a good option because you're paying the taxes up front. But so this guy one day, like we were just talking about something, I forgot what it was, and he like in front of the computer he opened up like his Fidelity account, and I was just looking, and then I started like chopping it up with him, and I didn't at this point in time, like I was there for over a year and a half, and he's no, it was longer than that. So this is just money that I could have been accumulating and like into my account, and like this guy's sitting on like 300,000-400,000, and I'm like, damn, like I ain't even start saving it, right? Because I was more so focused on like, oh no, I don't want to put money into that. Yeah, you ever seen that Family Guy skit where he's like, oh, like F that guy, like that's his problem, like talking about his future self. Like, yeah. So, nah, like take care of your future self. Like, save your money. One day it'll save you. But like the reasons to buy or wait, like it's like look at your situation. Talk to people who are actually in positions that you want to be in. That's what I would say.
Listen to those people, not people that below you or on the same boat that you. I'm trying to get
versus like the fear mongering and all of that.
Exactly. I mean, I always think about the Bitcoin situation. Like, someone told me about that, and you know, they was rich too, and I should have listened, but I didn't. They told me about Bitcoin back when Bitcoin was, I don't know, a couple $100. I look at it now, man. I had a couple $100. I could have been in Bitcoin.
Honestly, bro, like it's I have the I got a what is it, a profit sharing check one year, and I went and bought some Bowflex like dumbbells. You know, it's the little thing that you don't look at, because if I would have took that money and like I forgot what was the hot stock then, whether it was like Tesla, Apple, like Bitcoin wasn't even out then. But like I'm just telling you, man, sometimes like we buy depreciating assets. A home is an appreciating asset, so like invest in things that are gonna bring you money or like build equity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I bet you
Hot. Sorry, so what?
I said, but you don't use those Bowflex dumbbells no more.
No, man, I don't even have them anymore.
Yeah.
I think I left them in Toronto. I don't even have them anymore. Yeah. Whereas, like the house, like that would have still been bringing in money.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, man. I mean, it is what it is, though, man. You know, and we say these things to not just joke, because at the end of the day, you know, these things can really help elevate your life. So
definitely,
if you're serious about the real estate and you want to own your own home, that's something that you've been dreaming about. It all starts with a conversation. That's the main point of this. Yes, there's all these rules and things that you have to look at for the credit, the debt to income, different grants and down payment system programs that you could qualify for. Don't worry about all that. That's for us. We're the professionals for you. So we help you in that situation. We have that conversation with you and give you some viable options for you and show you what's your game plan in order to get this done for you. That's what we want to encourage you guys about. And again, if you want to learn more information about those down payment assistance and what would be the best option for you, as far as which type of loan, contact Mr. Ken today. You know, give him a call.
Yes, sir.
Contact me. Look on the website for those down payment assistance programs. Hit us up. Simple DM, simple call, simple text. I'm telling you, we can get started and show you what that game plan looks like for y'all.
Definitely. As far as like down payment assistance programs, Georgia Dream is a good one. My dog, like, my apologies, y'all, if y'all heard that. My dog, like, he's going through it over here. Hopefully that didn't come through.
No, I actually didn't hear
it. Sorry.
Just earlier, so.
Oh yeah. No, I don't know what's going on with him. All right. But Georgia Dream, there's a lot. So check out down payment resource if you're interested in down payment assistance programs. If there's a specific one that you have questions about, definitely reach out, DM us Dream. We will be glad to walk you through that. Our information has been going across the screen as we've been talking. So definitely feel free to hit us up. Sure. Darren's website, DM Dream to get started, or DarrenMillerRealty.com. Definitely hit us up. Because there's a lot of options, and like he said, you don't have to worry about that. That's more for us as professionals to guide you through. That's why we're here, right?
100%. And there's a lot more than you could think about. Tailored specific to what county you want to be in. There's a Fulton County one. There's a Gwinnett one. So yeah, just hit us up and let's help you out on that end. Yeah. Got anything else?
All right. Quick questions. So actually we throughout our conversation, we already went through some of this. We had some people send us in some questions, and some of these were already answered. But in case you missed it, all right. So are you seeing, just based on what you're seeing? I know you mentioned builder concessions, but how likely, and if you have a range, because I can get into this really quickly, right? When it comes to FHA loans, so depending on the loan type, that'll determine the concession legally you're allowed to get back. as far as like whether it be, and this is like across the board. I had a client one time who was looking at me and looking at using a builder's representative, and they told her that they were going to give her like $30,000 or $40,000 back, and she was going with a conventional loan. So I already knew like it wasn't possible for her to get that amount back, just based on it seems like Darren dipped out. So I'm just gonna like finish telling y'all this, and then I'll answer any questions. But so this seller, this buyer was looking at getting like $40,000 back, but based on her loan program, I knew that they were either going to have to switch the loan program or decrease the amount that she was getting back, because like legally, when it comes to conventional loans, you can get, there's tiers, so you can get 3% back, 6% back, or 9% back, depending on how much you're putting down. She wasn't putting down more than 5%, so she wasn't going to be able to get that like that amount of money, right? Like she was maxed out or capped at 3%. But what ended up happening was switching her loan to FHA, and then she got back the like however much that was. Like it was somewhere around 6% of the purchase price. But that's an important thing to know, just because a lot of times people will promise things, and because you don't know the rules, like you're not aware of your options, right? When it comes to FHA loans, you're able to get back up to 6% of the closing cost. Of the purchase price. FHA 6%, VA 4%, conventional, as I mentioned, 3%, 6%, or 9%. All right. So another question that we had, and like me and him kind of went over some of the answers prior to, but let me see. So the other question was, what credit issues do clients most often face, and what steps do we recommend so that they can begin home shopping? So credit issues that people might face, I would say, like generally, for me, what I've seen is like not enough credit, or not enough credit, or just thinking that they need like a larger, like a higher credit score. Reach out, have that conversation, and let us like advise you on if you actually need to wait or if you need to pay something down. That's another thing I see a lot, is people will think that, oh, they need to like pay something down in order to get approved, which is not necessarily the case. Like go through the application process first. Let us look at your credit, and then if there's things that need to be paid down to like increase the DTI, decrease the DTI, or to make the whole outlook look better, then we'll advise you of that. But I would say, like, don't go off paying debts off, paying off credit cards, when you can use that money for your actual home or for like another expense. All right, unless we advise you that you need to. All right, local down payment assistance program. That was the next question. Most frequently recommended to first-time home buyers in Atlanta or in the Atlanta like metro area. I would say down payment resource, a Georgia Dream is one I mentioned. I know Darren mentioned like one specific to Fulton County. So there are quite a few, too many to list. Down payment resource is a good option, or like hit me up and I can definitely like tell you about like different options. So one second. Yeah, I can definitely tell you about different options as far as like the down payment assistance programs. There is a grant, and I'll get into this really quickly, like a grant versus versus down payment assistance. So when it comes to down payment assistance programs, there are different when it comes to down payment assistance programs, there are like second loan options. There are repayable, non-repayable, deferred ones. There's versus a grant where they're just giving you money. So that's the main thing to be aware of. Some of them require you to like make payments on it. Some of them are forgivable after a certain period of time of you being in that home. So that's the major difference. And then some just give you the money based on like you doing a course, right? Like a few hour, like a home buyer's course or something like that. There's actually another one. This one isn't in Atlanta, but I'll still mention it because like they might have similar ones out there. This one, like all you have to do is get solar panels, and they'll like give you, what is it? I think it's 25,000, like up to 25,000 or something like that for a home. That's specific to like Texas. But I'm sure Atlanta has like some other ones that are similar. So again, like down payment resource, like check that site out. Darren mentioned like Fulton County, like a few different ones specific to that. Georgia Dream is a great one that I used to work with when I was over there. I still have access to other ones in Atlanta, or like in Georgia, I should say, because I don't want to just like speak to people in Atlanta. If you're in Georgia, like you have options when it comes to that.
Yeah, you
So
got the Fulton homeownership program. You have Invest
yeah,
Atlanta, We Decab, and the
okay.
Home Stretch Down Payment Assistance Program, specific tailored for Gwinnett County. Even the Georgia Mortgage Assistant program. So there's a lot of things, resources that you can utilize for down payment assistance. Like I said, Ken mentioned as well. Then the down payment resource. Like I said, that's another option to look into. You can visit my website for those specific ones as well. If you want to know more information, or just DM us, contact us.
Yeah, man, definitely, definitely. So, before we get up out of here, anything else you want to share with the people? Like, what you got going on?
Man, if you are looking to purchase in the Dunwoody area, I have a listing that's be perfect for a first time home buyer. It's priced at 274,000. It's a beautiful, quaint townhome, 3 bedroom, 2 baths. Would love for you guys to DM me and let's set up a private showing and look at that property. Have another one in Swanee for my people that wants to live in the Gwinnett County area. It's currently listed at 925, 4 bedroom, 5 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, with a full basement. In a beautiful neighborhood. I think you guys will love that one too. So yeah, if you're interested in the home buying process, just have a quick conversation. I'm talking about literally 15-minute conversation to help you get started, and we can build a
Mhm.
plan from there.
No, that sounds amazing. Like, and just to clarify for y'all, because that down payment assistance program is flashing across the screen, we do not
Yeah.
lend if you're buying $1 million property. Like down payment assistance, I mean, we get all right.
Ah.
So like down payment assistance are for people who actually like
It is a
need the
cap.
money. Yeah, yeah, there is a cap. There is a cap. There is a max. If you're buying a $900,000 property, I would love to see that home. If you should have shared it on the screen, but like no,
Oh yeah, see that.
if you yeah, yeah, like definitely hit up Darren if you're interested in either one of those homes. Both of them, like I know, both areas like are amazing. So definitely like hit him up. And then again, if you have any questions, like are interested in getting like pre-approved, again, like I don't do pre-qualifications, like full pre-approval where we gather any needed documents that are in relation to like you buying the home. So like just to let you know really quickly what we would need, right? When it comes to like if you're a regular W-2 worker, it would just be like a W-2. My apologies, y'all. This dog is over here. He has an upset stomach. But
Oh
but
man.
W-2, 1040s, recent pay stubs, uh, driver's license or passport, right? It's really basic. And bank statements showing proof of income as well as like down payment, anything needed. And it's basically just like little different documents depending on like if you're doing a bank statement loan or if you're like self-employed, it just changes like the tax return. But that's basically it. And then there's also like no document like loan options, which are generally for like investment properties or like asset programs. So there's a lot of different options. Again, if you have money or even if you don't have money, just have a conversation and we can make things happen. You need money though. All right, just to specify because
Yeah,
so
for
that if
sure.
you don't have any money, right? But like we can walk you and guide you through the process. Yeah, hit us up. All right.
For sure.
Free credit repair, free consultation, free home evaluation. DM Dream today, DarrenMillerRealty.com. Um, I should have had my website up and loaded, but like you can email me, kenf@barrettfinancial.com, and like we'll chop it up with y'all again.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We appreciate y'all tuning in. Y'all have a wonderful, blessed day.